Romans 12:5 is a verse that we point to often. It tells us to rejoice with those who rejoice and to grieve with those who are grieving. It sounds really simple, but it's not. And if you've ever grieved, you know that it's not. And if you have ever rejoiced, you know that it's not. Because most of the time in our culture, if someone's grieving, I want to figure out how to make them feel better, not grieve with them. And if someone's rejoicing, I sort of want to get a little of that from them. I'd like to get some of that joy for myself, because maybe things aren't that great right now, but maybe I'm next. Maybe if I rejoice with them, it'll be my turn next. Maybe that's how I get my blessing. I think that Romans 12:5 is telling us to grieve with the grieving even if we don't feel their grief. To rejoice with the rejoicing even if we don't feel their joy. It's not supposed to be about the event. It's about the person. I don't have to understand what someone is going through. My grief is for you. My joy is for you. I'm removing myself for a moment. I'm removing my opinion. I'm removing my desire and my understanding. And I'm just turning my heart towards you. I wonder if that's not what happens when love and hospitality suddenly merge together. I personally think that is what we see when Jesus wept at Lazarus' tomb, because he knew what was next. He had said days earlier that Lazarus' sickness would not end in death, but he mourned with and he mourned for Mary and Martha before he raised their brother from the dead. He didn't have to feel it for himself to feel for them. He didn't have to agree with how they felt to say, but I understand they're broken. I understand they're hurting. I understand they're afraid. I understand their disappointment. He didn't have to correct them. He just was going to sit with them. Why? Because he loved them. Love is willing to feel for someone even if I don't feel what they're feeling. We've got to break free of the need to make people feel better, because that makes us say things that don't help, right? We've all said them. And we've all heard them. And most of us kind of are grateful that you're trying to help, but would like you to move along and stop. Right? Hasn't there been a moment where you've said, if someone says da 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 to me one more time? See, love doesn't have to have anything to say. Love's just sorry that your heart's broken. Love's sorry that you're afraid. Love's sorry that you're nervous. Love's sorry that you're angry. Love is for you, not for your event. And love's also not trying to get back to ourselves. Guys, forgive me for a minute, but if your go-to is I know how you feel, you're not loving. It's not love. That kind of empathy is not love. It's actually trying to push it away. I don't know how you feel. And I don't have to tell you my similar experience. Or my experience that's not similar at all, but I'm going to try to make it that way.